The space station hung silently in orbit around the small mining planet. Its metal walls gleamed faintly in the reflection of a distant sun. Ships of every shape and size floated near the docking bays. Among them, a human mechanic named Tom moved quickly, his hands smudged with oil and his uniform streaked with grease. His workshop was cluttered with engines, wires, and tools, yet he moved confidently among them. Every ship that came in was repaired, every problem solved. Tom had spent most of his life fixing what others thought was impossible. Tom's day was ordinary until a loud alarm echoed across the station. The docking bay doors opened with a hiss. A massive cruiser, unlike any ship Tom had ever seen, slid smoothly into the bay. Its surface shimmered in rainbow colors that changed as the light hit them. People stopped what they were doing. Even the experienced engineers and pilots stared in awe. A group of uniformed aliens stepped out. They were tall and slim, with skin that reflected light like polished metal. At the center of the group was a young alien, who looked very different from the others. She was larger, her body rounded in ways that made her stand out. Her bright green eyes looked around nervously. She held a small device that she seemed unsure how to use. The crew of the station whispered, snickering quietly at her appearance. Tom noticed her immediately. He didn't laugh. He only felt curiosity. She moved awkwardly, tripping over a loose panel and almost dropping her device. He walked over carefully, brushing off grease from his hands as he approached. "Are you okay?" he asked in a calm voice. The alien looked up, startled. Her eyes widened. I think so." "This place is larger than I expected," she said in halting English. "You're safe here," Tom said, offering a reassuring smile. "I can help if you need it." Other humans whispered behind him, making jokes about the alien princess. "Look at her," one said. "The Emperor must be joking." But Tom ignored them. He saw something beyond her size and clumsiness. He saw a quiet determination, a curiosity about the world around her. The alien, his name he soon learned was Mara, tried to follow the group of soldiers, but her steps were slow and uncertain. She fumbled with her device, accidentally dropping it on the floor. Tom bent down and picked it up. "Here," he said, handing it to her. "Be careful with this." She took it, her fingers brushing his. "Thank you," she whispered. Her voice was soft, almost musical, but there was a strength in it, a sense of focus that made Tom pause. Over the next few hours, Tom showed Mara around the station. He pointed out the control rooms, the workshops, and the areas where ships were repaired. She listened attentively, asking questions about tools and engines. Her questions were simple, yet they revealed an unusual mind. She wanted to understand how humans made things work, not just how they looked. "You fix all these ships alone?" Mara asked as she watched him repair a damaged engine. "Not always alone," Tom said. "But I like to try. I enjoy solving problems. Every ship has its own puzzle." Mara nodded. "I like puzzles too," she said, "even if they are hard." Tom smiled. There was something about her honesty that made him feel calm. She wasn't pretending to be perfect. She was willing to learn. The crew of the station still laughed quietly behind them, whispering that the Emperor's daughter was a joke sent to humiliate humans. But Tom didn't care. He only saw Mara's potential. Later, Mara tried to handle some basic tools under Tom's guidance. She dropped a wrench once, then a screwdriver, but Tom patiently helped her pick them up and showed her how to use them correctly. Slowly, she began to understand. Her movements became steadier. Her confidence grew. "Good job," Tom said, after she successfully fixed a small engine component. "You learn fast." Mara smiled, her eyes lighting up. I like this. "Humans are clever," she said. Tom laughed softly. "And aliens can be clever too. You just need practice." As the day turned into night on the mining planet below, Mara and Tom continued working together. They repaired a small shuttle that had been damaged during its landing. By the time they finished, Mara was tired but happy. She had learned more in a few hours than she ever expected. "You make humans look very smart," Mara said. "I thought you were weak compared to my world." Tom chuckled. Humans have their own ways. We can be small, but we can surprise anyone. Even an emperor. Mara looked thoughtful. Even an emperor? Yes, Tom said. Even emperors can be surprised by those they underestimate. That night, Mara stayed in the station dormitories. Tom returned to his workshop, cleaning tools and reflecting on the day. He realized something important. Mara was not a joke. She was someone unique. Someone capable of learning and adapting in ways even humans might not expect. Meanwhile, Mara could not sleep. She looked out the window at the stars and thought about the human mechanic. He was different from anyone she had met. He did not judge her by her appearance. He treated her with respect and patience. She felt a strange warmth, a feeling she had never felt in her life on the Imperial cruiser. The next morning, Mara returned to Tom's workshop. She was eager to learn more. Together, they worked on a damaged communication array, repairing circuits and calibrating the system. She struggled at first, but her confidence grew with every step. Look at that, Tom said proudly. You're improving faster than I thought. Mara smiled shyly. I want to learn. I want to understand humans. Tom nodded. And I want to understand you. Every person, every alien, has something special to teach. You are no exception. By the end of the day, Mara could operate the repair tools with skill and precision. She was still larger and clumsier than most, but her mind worked in ways that amazed Tom. He realized that while others mocked her, she held a potential that could change everything on the station. As the alien emperor's fleet prepared to leave orbit, Mara stayed behind. She had found something she never expected, a place where she was appreciated for her mind, not mocked for her size. Tom, the human mechanic, had seen past the surface and recognized her true value. And so, on that small station, orbiting a lonely mining planet, a human and an alien began a partnership that neither could have predicted. Together, they would face challenges, overcome doubts, and prove that appearances could be deceiving. Sometimes the most unexpected arrivals bring the greatest surprises. The station crew would remember this day for years. Not for Mara's size, not for her awkwardness, but for the moment when a human mechanic saw an alien princess and saw what truly mattered: courage, intelligence, and a desire to learn. Tom did not know it yet, but Mara was exactly what he had been waiting for. And Mara did not know it yet, but humans could teach her more than she had ever imagined. Together, they would start a story that would change the station, challenge an emperor, and show that underestimating humans was a mistake no one could afford. The morning sun reflected softly on the metallic walls of the space station. The stars in the distance seemed calm and quiet, but the station was alive with activity. Ships landed and departed, and the mechanics moved from one task to another. Among them, Tom and Mara worked together in the workshop. Surrounded by tools, wires, and metal panels, Mara had spent the night thinking about everything she had seen and learned. She was no longer nervous. Instead, she felt a spark of excitement she had never felt before. This human world was unlike anything she had imagined. There were no strict rules of etiquette, no endless ceremonies. People spoke directly, and they solved problems with their hands. To Mara, this was fascinating. Tom noticed her energy immediately. You look ready for a big challenge today, he said, smiling. Mara nodded, her bright green eyes gleaming. I want to try something harder, she said. I want to repair things that are broken badly. Tom laughed softly. All right, I have something in mind. He led her to a large damaged shuttle that had recently arrived. Its hull was scratched, and its engines were weak. Other mechanics had examined it but had given up, saying it would take days to repair. Tom looked at Mara and said, This is yours. Let's see what you can do. Mara studied the shuttle carefully. She walked around it, touching panels and scanning engine components with her small device. Her fingers moved carefully, but she hesitated over some parts. Tom watched silently. He had trained many mechanics, but there was something unusual about Mara. She was cautious, yet she seemed to understand machines instinctively. You can start with the engines, Tom suggested. See if you can identify the problem. Mara knelt beside the engine and examined the circuits. She tilted her head, thinking, then pressed a few buttons on her device. Lights flickered, and a soft hum came from the engine. She looked up at Tom, a small smile forming on her face. I think it needs a different connection. The power flow is uneven. Tom nodded, impressed. Good observation. Try to adjust it and see what happens. With care, Mara followed the steps Tom had explained. She rewired a few circuits, replaced a small panel, and adjusted the energy flow. Slowly, the engine began to stabilize. A soft purr echoed from the shuttle, and Tom smiled widely. You did it, he said. I didn't expect it to respond so quickly. Mara's smile grew. It is easier than I thought, she admitted. When I understand something, it works. The station crew, who had been watching from a distance, started to murmur. Some were surprised. Mara was no longer the clumsy alien princess they had laughed at. She was solving problems faster than any human apprentice they had seen. Over the next few hours, Mara and Tom worked tirelessly. She learned to use human tools, adapting them with her alien knowledge. She figured out shortcuts that even Tom had not considered. Slowly, the two of them repaired the shuttle completely. When they finished, Mara wiped sweat from her forehead. It is done, she said. Her voice carried pride and joy. Tom clapped his hands. Excellent work. You see, humans are not the only ones who can fix things. But you have a special way of learning. Otto looked at him. I have never had someone teach me like this. Most people only tell me what to do. You show me how to think. Tom nodded. That is the key. Understanding comes from practice and curiosity, not just instructions. Mara's mind was full of questions. She wanted to know why humans did things differently from aliens. She asked about the materials they used, the way circuits were designed, and even the way engines were built to survive damage. Tom explained patiently, giving her simple examples and letting her try. You notice details that most people ignore, Tom said at one point. You watch, you think, and you act. That is why you learn so quickly. Mara's eyes glowed with determination. I want to learn everything, she said. Not only for myself, but to help humans? Tom was silent for a moment. He realized that Mara's desire to help humans was genuine. She was not here to mock or judge. She wanted to be useful, to make a difference. In that moment, he felt a sense of pride and hope. Humans often face prejudice from larger empires, and here was someone who wanted to stand beside them. Later in the day, an emergency alarm sounded. A small transport ship had suffered damage from a meteor storm and was drifting near the station. Tom and Mara rushed to the bay. The ship was leaking fuel, and sparks flew from its engine. Can you handle it? Tom asked, assessing the situation. Mara nodded. Yes, I will try. Working together, they climbed onto the transport ship. Mara examined the engine carefully. She instructed Tom on where to place stabilizers and how to adjust the energy flow. Her understanding of both alien and human technology allowed them to work faster than usual. Within minutes, the ship's engine stabilized. It was safe to land. The crew and passengers aboard the transport ship cheered. Mara looked at Tom, her eyes shining. We did it, she said softly. Tom smiled, proud. You did it. I only guided you. You have the talent. By the evening, Mara and Tom were back in the workshop. Mara was exhausted, but exhilarated. She had learned more in a single day than she had in years aboard the Imperial cruiser. She sat quietly, observing the station as humans moved around efficiently, repairing ships, carrying cargo, and solving problems. I never knew humans were so clever, she said softly. Tom nodded. We survive because we adapt. We find solutions when others fail. You see, Mara, humans are underestimated a lot, but when challenged, we can rise higher than anyone expects. Mara looked thoughtful. I want to see more. I want to understand humans better. I want to help. Tom smiled. Then you will. You are learning fast. Soon, you will be helping more than just the station. As night fell, Mara walked to the observation deck. She gazed at the stars, thinking about her family and the Emperor. He had sent her here, mocking humans, expecting her to fail. But she had discovered something unexpected. Humans were clever, resourceful, and kind. She had also discovered something about herself. She could learn, adapt, and contribute. She was not just an alien princess. She was someone who could bridge two worlds. The next morning, Mara returned to the workshop with renewed determination. Tom had prepared a more complex repair project, a damaged mining drone that required both human and alien knowledge to fix. Mara examined the drone carefully. She touched its circuits, observed the damage, and thought about the solution. "I will try a new method," she said confidently. "One that combines both human and alien systems." Tom watched silently. He had never seen anyone approach repairs this way. Mara carefully modified the circuits, recalibrated the energy flow, and adjusted the drone's movement controls. Slowly, the drone came to life, moving with precision across the workshop floor. "You did it," Tom said, astonished. "You created something entirely new," Mara smiled. "I wanted to understand humans. Now, I also want to combine our knowledge to make things better." Tom realized something important. Mara was not just learning from humans. She was improving upon what she learned. She was thinking creatively, combining ideas from two very different worlds. He felt a sense of excitement and hope. Humans had always faced challenges from larger empires, but now, with allies like Mara, they could rise above expectations. Over the next few days, Mara continued to learn and grow. She became more confident with human tools and methods. She also shared her alien knowledge, showing Tom ways to improve engines, circuits, and systems. The partnership between human and alien grew stronger, and soon, other crew members began to notice her skill and determination. No one laughed at her anymore. She had proven herself capable and clever. The station began to treat her as a valued member of the team, not as a joke. Mara had found a place where she belonged, a place where her talents were recognized, and her determination respected. Tom looked at her one evening as she worked late into the night. "You have come far," he said, "but I think this is only the beginning. Together, we can do even more." Mara looked at him, her eyes shining with excitement. "I want to learn everything, Tom. I want to help humans, and I want to see what we can achieve together." Tom nodded. He felt a surge of pride and hope. He realized that humans were not alone. With allies like Mara, they could face any challenge, overcome any obstacle, and show the galaxy what humans were truly capable of in the quiet of the workshop. Surrounded by tools and machines, two friends, one human, one alien, worked side by side. They were building more than ships and drones. They were building trust, understanding, and a future that neither of them could have imagined alone. The stars outside the station twinkled brightly. Mara smiled, knowing that this was only the start of her journey. Tom smiled back, realizing that sometimes the most unexpected arrivals bring the greatest surprises. And so, in the small space station orbiting a mining planet, a new story of courage, curiosity, and partnership began to unfold. The space station hummed quietly as ships moved in and out of the docking bays. Most of the crew had returned to their routines, but Tom and Mara were still in the workshop. Mara had grown more confident in her skills. She could now repair human ships and drones with ease, and even suggest modifications that made them stronger. Tom watched her with admiration. She was learning quickly, but more importantly, she was thinking creatively. One morning, a message arrived from the distant Imperial fleet. The alien Emperor's voice echoed through the station's communication system. "Humans are clever, but untested. My daughter's presence will reveal their true nature. Prepare for a challenge." The message was simple, yet it carried a warning. Tom frowned. "Looks like the Emperor wants to test us. Something big is coming." Mara tilted her head, her eyes narrowing in thought. "A test? Why would he do that? I thought I was here? As a joke?" Tom shook his head. "That is exactly it. He expected you to fail, to embarrass humans, but he underestimates both of us. For the next few hours, the station prepared for the incoming challenge. Sensors were checked, shields strengthened, and repair stations were readied. Mara worked alongside Tom, studying the incoming reports. She noticed patterns in the data that humans had overlooked. Her alien perspective allowed her to see weaknesses in the meteor defense grid and areas where ships might fail under stress. "You see this?" Mara said, pointing to the screen. "If a large ship passes here, the shields might fail. I can suggest a modification." Tom nodded. "Good observation. Let's implement it." Working together, they recalibrated the station's shields. Mara suggested combining human technology with alien energy flow techniques she had learned from her cruiser. The shields became stronger, more responsive, adaptive to different types of attacks. As evening approached, a fleet of alien drones appeared near the outer perimeter. They were sleek, fast, and heavily armed. Their purpose was clear: to test the humans' ability to defend themselves. The crew of the station looked nervous. This was no ordinary drill. Tom placed a hand on Mara's shoulder. "Stay calm. Remember what we practiced." "You know what to do?" Mara nodded. Her eyes glowed with determination. "I will help. I am ready." The drones attacked swiftly, targeting the station's defenses and communication arrays. Alarms blared and sparks flew from damaged panels. Tom and Mara rushed to the control center. Mara analyzed the patterns of the drones' attacks and suggested strategic adjustments. She directed energy to weak points in the shields and helped reroute power to critical systems. The crew followed her instructions. Though some were skeptical, Mara was still young and larger than most aliens, and some doubted her ability to lead. But her confidence and knowledge left no room for hesitation. Slowly, the station stabilized. The drones' attacks were repelled, and damage was minimized. Tom looked at Mara with pride. "You are doing better than I expected. You are thinking like a true engineer and a strategist." Mara smiled faintly. "I am learning. Humans teach me more than I expected. And I want to help. Not just for you, but for everyone." The battle continued for hours. Mara's quick thinking and combined human-alien knowledge saved the station multiple times. She repaired critical systems on the fly, recalibrated shields, and even modified weapons to counter the drone's movements. The crew began to see her as more than just the Emperor's daughter. She was a hero. At one point, a large drone crashed into the docking bay, damaging a storage unit. Mara rushed to the site, carefully assessing the situation. She directed 2 human mechanics to move debris while she repaired the damaged energy core. Sparks flew, and the core hissed, but Mara remained calm. With careful hands and precise instructions, she restored the core to full function. Tom watched her, impressed. "You never panic. That is why you succeed." Mara shook her head. "I am not perfect, but I try to think clearly. That is what matters." As the attack ended, the drones retreated. The station was battered, but it had survived. The crew cheered. Mara had proven herself capable of handling emergencies. Understanding human technology and combining it with her own alien knowledge, Tom approached Mara. "You did it. You turned what could have been disaster into victory. The Emperor sent you here to humiliate humans, but instead you helped save us all." Mara looked down shyly. "I did what I could. I wanted to show humans that I am not just a joke." Tom smiled. "You have shown much more than that. You have shown that humans can work with anyone, even someone they never expected. You are not only skilled, you are trusted. And trust is more valuable than anything else." Over the next few days, the station repaired its systems and prepared for potential further attacks. Mara continued to work with Tom, helping train other humans and showing them how to improve their ships and defenses. She taught them how to combine human methods with alien techniques. The results were remarkable. Ships moved faster, shields became stronger, and communication systems were more reliable than ever. The Emperor, watching from afar, was stunned. His daughter had not failed. Instead, she had demonstrated intelligence, skill, and the ability to enhance humans' capabilities. His plan to humiliate the station had backfired. One evening, Mara walked to the observation deck. Tom joined her. They looked at the stars, the fleet of alien ships visible in the distance. "You see, Mara," Tom said quietly, "the Emperor thought this was a joke. But he underestimated humans. And he underestimated you." Mara nodded. "I never wanted to fail. I never wanted to embarrass humans. I want to help, to learn, and to be useful." Tom placed a hand on her shoulder. "And you are. You're exactly what humans need. We are stronger together, and you have proven that." Mara smiled. "I feel happy. I did not expect to feel this way on a human station. But I like it." "I like being here," Tom laughed softly. "You belong here, Mara, more than you know. Humans may not be perfect, but they value effort, courage, and honesty. You have all three." The following days brought more challenges. New ships arrived with damage. Unexpected meteor showers threatened the station, and rogue drones tested their defenses. Mara faced each challenge with determination and intelligence. She analyzed problems, suggested solutions, and worked alongside Tom and the crew to repair damage and strengthen the station. Through every task, Mara grew more confident. She learned not only how to repair machines, but how to lead, instruct, and inspire humans. She discovered the strength of human teamwork and resilience. She also discovered her own abilities, realizing that she could combine her alien knowledge with human ingenuity to create results neither species could achieve alone. Meanwhile, the Emperor began to reconsider his plan. His daughter, meant to be a source of humiliation, had become a bridge between worlds. He watched as humans and Mara worked together, repairing ships, defending the station, and proving their intelligence and skill. The fleet commander sent reports, noting that Mara's presence had elevated human performance to levels not previously seen. One evening, Mara and Tom repaired a critical communication array that allowed the station to communicate with nearby planets. The task was difficult, requiring both human and alien methods. Mara suggested modifications that improved efficiency and stability. Tom followed her instructions precisely. Together, they completed the repair in record time. "Humans will be respected across this sector," Mara said quietly, admiring their work. Tom nodded. "And it is thanks to you. You showed humans how to improve, and you showed aliens that humans are not weak." Mara felt a sense of pride she had never known. She had come to the station as a joke, but now she was a valued member of the team. She had helped save the station, train humans, prove that intelligence and skill were not limited by size or species. The station crew had come to admire her. They no longer whispered jokes about her appearance. Instead, they listened to her advice, followed her guidance, and respected her contributions. Mara had earned their trust and friendship. Tom looked at her one evening as she worked on a complex engine system. "You have grown so much in such a short time," he said. "But this is only the beginning. The Emperor may still challenge us, but with your knowledge and courage, we will face anything."
Ow.
Mara smiled. "I am ready. I want to continue learning, helping, and improving. I want to show everyone that humans are amazing and that I can be useful." Tom nodded, filled with admiration. "Then we will face the future together. Humans and aliens, working as one, can achieve what no one else can." As the stars twinkled beyond the station's windows, Mara realized that her journey had only just begun. She had faced the Emperor's hidden test and passed with courage and intelligence. She had proven that appearances were deceiving and that cooperation could overcome any challenge. The hidden test had revealed something more than skill. It had revealed the strength of trust, the power of learning, and the potential of humans when given the right guidance. Mara had not only succeeded for herself, but she had also shown the galaxy what humans were capable of achieving. And so, in the quiet of the space station, a new chapter began. Mara and Tom had survived the hidden test, and their partnership was stronger than ever. Together, they would continue to face challenges, overcome obstacles, and demonstrate that intelligence, courage, and determination could change the fate of worlds. The space station had recovered from the hidden test, but the atmosphere was different now. The crew no longer whispered about Mara's size or awkwardness. They respected her skill, intelligence, and courage. She moved through the station with confidence, assisting mechanics, teaching new methods, and sharing her unique alien perspective. Tom watched her, proud of how much she had grown in such a short time. Word of Mara's accomplishments began to spread. Nearby planets, mining operations, and transport fleets heard stories about the alien princess who worked with humans and saved a station from disaster. Tom knew that this recognition could change everything. Humans were often underestimated in the galaxy, yet now, with Mara's help, they had proven their worth. One morning, an urgent message arrived from the Sector Council. A massive freighter, carrying critical supplies for multiple colonies, had suffered damage in an asteroid field. The freighter could not reach any nearby stations for repair. The council requested assistance from Tom and Mara. "This is serious," Tom said, scanning the data. "The freighter's engines are failing, and if it drifts into the asteroid belt, it will be destroyed. We have to act fast." Mara studied the reports carefully. "We can repair it. I will help. Humans and I together can make it work." Tom nodded. "Then let's prepare. Gather tools and equipment. We leave in 2 hours." The crew worked alongside Mara and Tom to ready the repair shuttle. Mara suggested modifications to the shuttle's energy distribution system, combining alien precision with human durability. Tom followed her guidance carefully. The shuttle was ready ahead of schedule. They set off to intercept the freighter. The freighter was large, its hull scratched and engines sparking. Mara examined it from the observation deck of the repair shuttle. She quickly identified the primary issue: an unstable energy core that powered the engines and life support systems. "We need to stabilize the core first," she said. "If we repair the outer engines first, it will overload the system." Tom nodded. "Agreed. Let's go to the docking bay and start repairs." Once docked, Mara and Tom moved to the engine compartment. Human mechanics had already attempted some repairs, but Mara noticed inefficiencies in their approach. She calmly directed them, showing a better way to stabilize the energy core and reroute power. "Do it like this," she said, guiding a mechanic's hands. "We need balance in the energy flow, or the engines will fail again." The mechanics worked under her guidance. Slowly, the core stabilized, and the freighter's engines roared back to life. Crew members cheered. Mara smiled faintly, proud but humble. "It is working," Tom said. "Good job, Mara. The freighter is safe." Mara nodded. "Humans work hard. They never give up. That is why it is easy to help them." News of their success spread quickly. The Sector Council formally recognized the station and its crew for their efforts. Mara was praised for her intelligence, skill, and leadership. Tom, too, received accolades, though he always credited Mara. "That is what teamwork looks like," he said quietly. "Humans, when guided and trusted, can achieve anything. And so can our friends from other worlds." Mara's confidence grew further. She began to train the human mechanics in alien technology, teaching ways to improve engines, shields, and energy systems. The humans listened attentively, applying her methods and achieving results beyond what they thought possible. The station became more efficient, more resilient, and more respected across the sector. Even the alien fleet observed Mara's actions. The Emperor, who had originally sent her as a joke, began to rethink his plan. He had expected failure, yet here she was, showing intelligence, courage, and the ability to elevate humans. Reports from the fleet commander noted her achievements and suggested that she could be a bridge between humans and aliens. One evening, Mara and Tom worked late in the workshop. A new freighter had arrived with minor engine issues. Mara examined the ship carefully, analyzing its alien technology. "I see a way to improve efficiency," she said. "We can modify the energy circuits slightly. It will not only repair the engine, but make it stronger." Tom raised an eyebrow. "Stronger than it was before? That is ambitious," Mara nodded. "Sometimes, repair is not enough. We can make things better than they were originally designed." Tom smiled. "I like your thinking. Let's do it." The two worked together, combining human ingenuity and alien precision. The engine not only repaired successfully, but exceeded original performance levels. Crew members watched in amazement. Mara had turned what seemed ordinary into something exceptional. The station captain approached them. "Mara, Tom, the council is impressed. Your work has brought respect to this station. Humans are being noticed in the galaxy for the first time." Mara smiled quietly. "I only did what I could. Humans taught me, and I taught them in return. Together, we achieved this." Tom nodded. "It is true. We all learned from each other. That is what makes humans strong. We work, we adapt, and we do not give up." As days passed, Mara continued to prove her worth. She led repair crews, trained mechanics, and even helped design improvements for new ships arriving at the station. Her presence was no longer unusual. It was essential. Humans had begun to trust her completely. Meanwhile, the Emperor's fleet monitored her success closely. They had expected humiliation, yet humans were thriving. Mara's guidance and intelligence had revealed a truth the Emperor had ignored. Humans were capable, resilient, and clever. His daughter, meant to be a joke, had become the symbol of human potential. One day, a new emergency occurred. A cargo ship carrying critical medical supplies had collided with an asteroid. The supplies were essential for multiple colonies. The crew turned to Mara and Tom for guidance. "We can do this," Mara said confidently. "We know how to repair quickly. We can combine our methods and save the supplies." Tom nodded. "Let's move fast. Every second counts." Together, they worked with the crew. Mara guided human mechanics through the repairs, teaching them alien techniques to stabilize engines, reroute power, and repair hull breaches. Her methods were precise, but also simple enough for humans to follow. Slowly, the cargo ship was restored. The supplies were safe. When the news reached the colonies, they praised the station and its crew. Mara's name was mentioned with respect, not mockery. Humans, for the first time, were recognized across multiple sectors for their skill, courage, and ingenuity. Tom looked at Mara with pride. "You have done more than just help humans repair ships. You have shown the galaxy what we are capable of." Mara shook her head. "I only worked with humans. They have the skill and courage. I only helped them see it. They always had it inside." Tom smiled. "That is true. But sometimes it takes someone from another world to see it and guide them. That is what you did, Mara. You helped humans realize their potential." Mara felt a sense of satisfaction. She had come to the station as a joke, but now she was respected, trusted, and admired. She had helped humans rise to challenges, and in the process, she had found purpose and belonging. The Emperor, observing from afar, finally acknowledged Mara's success. He realized that his plan to humiliate humans had failed. Instead, humans had demonstrated intelligence, resilience, and skill beyond his expectations. Mara had not only survived, but had elevated humans in the eyes of the galaxy. One evening, Mara and Tom stood on the observation deck, looking at the stars. The station glowed softly around them, a symbol of human resilience and determination. "We did it," Tom said quietly. "The station is stronger, the humans are stronger, and the galaxy has started to notice." Mara smiled. "I did not expect to feel this way, but I like it here. Humans are amazing." Tom laughed softly. "And they are even more amazing when they work with someone who believes in them." "That is what we did, Mara. Together, we showed them what is possible." Mara nodded. "Then let us continue. There are more ships to repair, more humans to teach, and more challenges to face." Tom placed a hand on her shoulder. "Yes. Together we will continue to show the galaxy that humans are capable of anything. And we will prove that underestimating them is the greatest mistake anyone can make." As the stars sparkled beyond the station windows, Mara and Tom knew that this was only the beginning. Recognition and respect had been earned, but greater challenges lay ahead. With humans and Mara working together, they were ready to face whatever the galaxy could throw at them. In the quiet of the station, surrounded by ships and mechanics, a new chapter unfolded. Mara had gone from being a joke to a symbol of human potential. Tom had seen his people rise to challenges beyond expectation, and together they had begun to change the way the galaxy viewed humans forever. The space station shone brightly in orbit around the mining planet. Ships of all sizes moved through the docking bays, now repaired faster and more efficiently than ever. The crew had grown confident and skilled under Mara's guidance. The human mechanics followed her instructions willingly, impressed by her intelligence and patience. Tom walked among them, proud to see his people achieve what they had once thought impossible. But the calm was temporary. A new message arrived from the distant Imperial fleet. The Emperor himself was sending an inspection team to the station. His fleet would judge not only Mara, but the humans she had been working with. The crew sensed tension. Some feared the Emperor's judgment would undo all they had achieved. Tom approached Mara. "The Emperor is coming. He wants to see what we've done." Mara's green eyes shone with determination. "Then we will show him everything. Not to please him, but to prove that humans are capable and strong." Tom nodded. "Exactly. We will show him what we've built together." Preparations began immediately. The station was polished and organized. Systems were double-checked, and every repaired ship was inspected. Mara helped the mechanics perfect their work, making adjustments to engines, shields, and communication arrays. Her alien knowledge combined with human ingenuity resulted in improvements the Emperor could never have imagined. When the inspection fleet arrived, the station glimmered like a jewel in space. The Emperor's flagship docked first. From its hull descended the inspection team, followed by the Emperor himself. The crew stood quietly as Mara and Tom greeted them. The Emperor looked at Mara with curiosity and a hint of surprise. "I sent you here as a joke," he said. "I expected failure and embarrassment for humans. And yet you have excelled." Mara bowed politely. "I came to learn and to help. Humans are skilled and courageous. I only guided them." The Emperor's advisors whispered to each other, clearly shocked by her words. They had not expected a human-alien partnership to produce such results. Mara led them through the station, showing every repaired ship, every improvement, and every system upgrade. The humans demonstrated their skill proudly. Guided by Mara's insights, the Emperor observed quietly, his expression unreadable. He saw humans operating with precision, repairing ships faster than any alien crew could. He saw Mara working seamlessly with them, combining human resourcefulness with alien techniques. The Emperor realized his plan had completely backfired. "Humans are impressive," the Emperor admitted, after a long silence. "I underestimated them." Mara smiled faintly. "Humans are strong because they never give up, and they learn from anyone willing to teach them." Tom stepped forward. "And humans are proud. We work hard, adapt, and rise to challenges. With allies like Mara, we can achieve more than anyone expects." The Emperor nodded slowly. "I see you have not only survived but thrived, and you have elevated humans in the galaxy's eyes." His words carried weight, but Mara had already learned that respect was earned through action, not approval. She led the humans in a demonstration of the station's capabilities. Ships moved flawlessly. Repairs were completed efficiently, and systems operated at peak performance. The humans had proven themselves, and the Emperor had witnessed it firsthand. After the inspection, the Emperor turned to Mara. "You have exceeded expectations. What you have done here, it changes the way humans are seen." Mara's eyes were steady. "That is because humans are capable. They only needed guidance and trust. I came to help them, not to embarrass them." The Emperor considered her words. For the first time, he recognized the potential in humans. He realized that underestimating them had been a mistake, and that Mara had not only proven herself, but had also shown the galaxy what humans were truly capable of. In the following days, Mara continued her work at the station. She trained more mechanics, improved systems, and worked alongside Tom to prepare for future challenges. The humans gained confidence and skill, and their reputation began to spread even further. Colonies across the sector praised their achievements, noting that humans, once considered weak, were now capable of extraordinary feats. Tom and Mara grew closer as partners and friends. They worked together seamlessly, complementing each other's skills. Tom admired Mara's intelligence, patience, and creativity. Mara admired Tom's leadership, problem-solving, and unwavering faith in his people. Together, they formed a bond built on trust, respect, and shared purpose. One day, a distress signal arrived from a nearby planet. A mining colony had been hit by a meteor storm, and its equipment was damaged. Mara and Tom immediately prepared a repair team. Ships were loaded with supplies and tools, and the crew followed their instructions carefully. The journey to the colony was tense. Meteors streaked through space, threatening ships and equipment. Mara analyzed their trajectory, guiding the fleet to avoid collisions. Her calculations, combined with human experience, allowed them to navigate safely. When they arrived, the colony was in chaos. Equipment lay broken, and miners struggled to maintain operations. Mara and Tom quickly organized the humans and local workers. Mara directed repairs, showing the best way to stabilize machinery and reroute energy systems. Tom coordinated logistics, ensuring supplies reached every repair site efficiently. Under their guidance, the colony slowly recovered. Engines were restored, shelters were repaired, and mining equipment was operational again. The miners cheered. Humans and Mara had saved the colony from disaster. One of the colony leaders approached Mara. "You are incredible. You came as an outsider, yet you helped us more than anyone could have imagined." Mara shook her head. "I only helped humans. You are skilled and brave. I guided, but you all did the work." Tom smiled. "That is the way humans work. We rise to challenges, and we help each other. Mara only showed us new ways to succeed." As the fleet returned to the station, Mara reflected on how far she had come. She had arrived as a joke, meant to embarrass humans. Now, she had become a symbol of cooperation, intelligence, and strength. Humans had proven themselves to the galaxy. She had discovered her own purpose. The Emperor's words still echoed in her mind. He had admitted underestimating humans. But Mara knew that true respect was earned through actions, not declarations. Humans had shown it, and she had helped them see their own potential. Back on the station, Mara and Tom worked on a new project, a hybrid ship that combined human and alien technology. It was faster, stronger, and more versatile than anything either species had built before. Mara's knowledge of alien systems complemented Tom's understanding of human engineering perfectly. Together, they created something extraordinary. The project drew attention from nearby sectors. Aliens and humans alike came to witness the innovation. Mara explained the design, showing how combining two perspectives could produce results far beyond individual capabilities. The audience was amazed. Humans, once dismissed, were now respected innovators. Tom looked at Mara as the crowd applauded. "We did this together. Humans and you. This is just the beginning." Mara smiled. "Yes, together we can face anything. Humans are capable, and I have learned much from them as well." Days passed, and the station continued to thrive. Mara remained a trusted leader, guiding humans, teaching, and learning alongside them. Tom continued his work as a mechanic, but now with a partner who challenged him, inspired him, and shared his vision of human potential. The Emperor eventually returned to his home system. Mara accompanied him, but maintained her connection with the humans at the station. She had proven herself to him, and to the galaxy, but she had also found a place where she belonged. The humans respected her, trusted her, and had grown stronger because of her guidance. One evening, Mara stood on the observation deck with Tom. The stars stretched endlessly across space. Ships glimmered as they moved through the station's docking bays. The galaxy was vast, full of challenges, but Mara and Tom felt ready. "You know, Tom," Mara said softly, "I never expected to find this place. I never expected to feel at home with humans." Tom smiled. "Sometimes what you least expect is exactly what you need. Humans are strong, but they are stronger when they work together with those they trust." I nodded. "And I trust humans. I trust you. Together, we can face anything the galaxy throws at us." Tom placed a hand on her shoulder. "Yes, humans will continue to rise, and with allies like you, we will achieve the impossible." The space station glowed softly in the starlight. Mara and Tom looked out at the galaxy, ready to face the future. The story that began with a joke had become a legend. Humans had proven their intelligence, skill, and resilience. Mara had discovered her purpose, and together they had formed a partnership that could change the fate of worlds. As the stars twinkled and ships moved efficiently through the docking bays, Mara and Tom smiled. They had faced challenges, overcome doubt, and proven that humans, when trusted and guided, were unstoppable. And so on the small station, orbiting a mining planet, a new era began. Humans were no longer underestimated. They had allies in unexpected places, skills that rivaled the galaxy's finest, and courage that could inspire generations. Mara and Tom had shown that cooperation, intelligence, and determination could change the galaxy. The Empire had underestimated them once. It would never make that mistake again. Humans had risen, and Mara had found a place where she truly belonged.